Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining. My name is Sondre Solvanng, and I work as a regulatory safety advisor in the regulatory and integrity section in Kongsberg Maritime. Kongsberg Maritime is a technology-driven systems provider with a global footprint. We deliver solutions to more than 30,000 vessels, supported by a workforce of around 8,000 employees worldwide. Our focus is on advanced technology, integration, and automation across the maritime value chain, positioning us as a leading partner in the industry's future. So, who are we? In my mind, a small team with a big footprint. In Kongsberg Maritime, we lead the role in enabling the safe approval of autonomous vessels and systems. Our team combines regulatory experience from class societies and flag administrations. We have operational vessel experience from both deck and engine departments. And we have system engineers who support the assessments and approval. Together, we bring the regulatory, operational, and analytical expertise needed to support KM's autonomous ambitions. In this presentation today, I will cover two topics. I'll start with an overview of the regulatory development, what it is, why it matters, and how KM influences national and international regulations. And then I'll move into risk-based approval, including the methodology and how we apply analysis and verification in practice. And finally, I'll highlight some key achievements from the last year. So, a lot of what shapes the maritime landscape doesn't come directly from law. It comes from non-governmental organizations, standards bodies, and other statutory stakeholders. Because we're actively involved in these groups, we get a chance to influence requirements early on, meaning we can ensure new rules are achievable, practical, and aligned with Kongsberg Maritime's technology. In addition, we work closely with several flag states and organizations, providing advisory input that feeds directly into key regulatory instruments. This gives Kongsberg Maritime a valuable voice in the development of future maritime regulations. Because we're engaged at both the national and international levels, we're able to not just follow regulatory developments, but also actively influence them. With the competence we have in regulatory and integrity, we can anticipate coming changes, interpret what they mean for our products, and help shape the regulatory landscape so that it stays achievable and aligned with KM strategy. This early insight and influence gives us a strong advantage as the industry evolves. KM's leadership in autonomy and digitalization depends on being actively engaged with regulators. By contributing early to IMO national rule development, we ensure new requirements are achievable, evidence-based, and aligned with our technology. Our close work with key flag states and recognized non-governmental organizations gives us a real influence in shaping decisions and preventing inconsistent implementations across countries. This involvement protects our commercial interests, strengthens our credibility, and helps our competitive advantage in a rapidly evolving maritime landscape. Our regulatory working group ensures that KM stays compliant with national and regional legislation. We follow rule changes, participate in hearings, and make sure that updates are implemented across KM's products and processes. To highlight some of the achievements today, we prevented several proposed mass code requirements that would have created major costs and performance challenges for the entire industry. We also succeeded in removing unachievable or unclear requirements making the framework more practical for real-world use. We've helped shape the UK primary legislation to make the mass market more attractive, and we've advised the UK NSO on future skills needed. Our work has positioned KM as a recognised leader in mass regulations globally. We continue to provide expert advice to a wide range of flag states and international organisations, and we actively support academic collaboration in both Norway and the UK. Together, these efforts strengthen KM's influence, credibility, and long-term leadership in the autonomous maritime domain. So, looking ahead, we will maintain consistent regulatory engagement, ensure variations between jurisdictions are properly understood, and continue providing unified KM voice in international regulatory forums. So, jumping over to how we approve today. In the absence of prescriptive rules, risk-based approval becomes essential. This section introduces how authorities evaluate innovative and autonomous solutions using a structured risk methodologies. Approval without prescriptive rules. When rules don't exist, approval relies on risk-based and performance-based assessments. This often requires a close collaboration between industry, regulators, and technical experts to ensure the safety and innovation in this emerging field. Flag states and classification societies employ structured risk management methodologies as described in the IMO Circular 1455 to evaluate and approve autonomous vessels and systems. This process is essential because prescriptive regulations may not fully address the novel risks introduced by autonomous technologies. Under Circular 1455, the approval pathway requires a systematic identification, assessment, and mitigation of hazards, typically through methods such as hazard identification, failure modes and effects analysis, and other qualitative or quantitative risk analysis. The goal is to demonstrate that the alternative or innovative design achieves a level of safety equivalent or greater than conventional vessels. The process involves collaboration between the submitter, the flag administration, and the classification societies, with the latter often acting as an independent third-party verifier. Each step of the risk management process must be documented and justified, ensuring that all identified risks are assessed and that the vessel operation remains safe, secure, and environmentally sound. This approach enables the maritime industry to integrate advanced autonomous technologies while maintaining robust safety standards. Hazard identification, also referred to as a preliminary hazard analysis, is a systematic process for recognizing potential hazards in industrial operations. It involves a multidisciplinary team, brainstorming and analyzing scenarios to uncover risks. The outcomes of a hazard study help organizations implement effective controls, enhance safety, and ensure regulatory compliance in projects and operations. Failure modes and effect analysis is a systematic risk assessment tool utilized at a subsystem level. It identifies potential failure modes, evaluates the causes and effects, and prioritizes actions to mitigate risk. FMEA helps organizations improve product reliability and safety by systematically addressing and preventing possible failures during the design or processes. The results of an FMEA feed directly into the broader risk management framework, enabling teams to transform identified vulnerabilities into targeted mitigation measures. These actions strengthen system reliability and support safe and predictable operations. FMA outcomes form a key component of the documentation required by flag states and classification societies, demonstrating that failure modes have been systematically assessed, provides evidence of due diligence, and strengthens the case for compliance under the framework such as IMO 1455. The clear traceability from identified risks to implemented control increases confidence for regulators, customers, and internal stakeholders. Well-documented FMEA processes ensure that KM can show robust engineering practices and a proactive safety culture. And the last point, which is important and often forgotten, enabling continuous improvement. FNA is not a one-off activity. It evolves as a system matures, operational data grows, and new insight emerges. Regular updates ensure that the risk picture remains current and aligned with both the technological developments, and regulatory expectations. And then lastly, the exam. The FMEA verification testing is the practical, real-world confirmation of what the FMEA predicts. It bridges the gap between the theoretical risk analysis and the actual system performance. Within KONGSBERG Maritime, projects such as Reach Remote, Oskar and Yara, verification testing have been used to ensure that failure modes behave as predicted in the FMEA, that the vessel is commissioned correctly according to drawings, documentation, and philosophy, that control measures function as intended, and if any further actions are needed when discrepancies or unexpected behavior arises. This process is consistently reflected in KM's verification programs and proving trials, which describes verification as a method to prove the validity of an FMA and ensure system operability after specified failures. So to summarize some of the achievements and milestones of 2025, we successfully completed the FMEA verification for remote engineering monitoring controls on the vessels Marit, Teresa, and Yara Birkeland, which resulted in a statement of compliance from DNV and a granted sailing permit from NMA for all 3 vessels to operate with remote engineering from one remote operating workstation. That's one ROC technician monitoring 3 vessels. We also, Reach Remote 1 and 2 were also successfully delivered and tested. We supported the validation of the removal of assisting vessel concept through a structured hazard identification and testing. Today, Reach Remote 1 operates in the North Sea with vessel control from Horten and ROV control in Haugesund, while Reach Remote 2 operates in offshore Australia with control from Perth. These achievements show how our regulatory and assurance work enables real-world autonomous and remotely operated vessels deployments. Thank you for your time and attention. Appreciate the opportunity to show our work, and I'm happy to take any questions in the chat.
Thank you so much. Sondre, I just have a question. Do you have any additional information, any movies, videos from your testing of the vessels that we can show off with?
Not at hand now. I have this picture. That's as much as I have. But we can have a chat afterwards. I don't think we have any videos. We may have some more pictures.
Okay. Thank you so much.